Most of you are probably familiar with RGB LED strips. You've probably seen them behind desks and tables in a lot of tech videos on YouTube. You can see one right behind my desk right now. And if you ever shopped for one on Amazon, you know there are a ton of options. And despite having very different prices, they're mostly the same exact thing. So I went ahead and bought 3 units of the same $22 one, I'll link it below, and I think I found the best option out there. If you like cool tech posters, check out mstechshop.com. The current designs are Work Harder inspired by Casey Neistat, Tech Made Out of Tech, and a pair of headphones with a sound wave. Use the link down below to go buy one, or don't, it's your money. The best way to showcase these LEDs is to actually unbox them and show the installation process. So let's do that. Alright, so here's a live unboxing and application of the LED strip to the new desk that's going where my desk currently is. And I'm going to explain this in a bit, but it doesn't have that good adhesive, so we came up with a solution using staples and prying them out that I'll show you closer right now. So we used a staple gun and would staple it in and took a screwdriver and pried it out just a little bit. The LEDs will fit through there, and then I'll hammer it back in to hold it tight. And that way, I don't even need to take the adhesive off of the LED strip because that adhesive really isn't any good. If you pay more for an LED strip, you can get better adhesive on it, but especially when you're paying like 20 bucks for the entire system, you're not gonna get that good adhesive. So in the box, you get your remote, which is used to set the colors and whatnot. And you also get the receiver, which goes with that remote, and that also converts the power. You get your power cable that goes into the receiver, your power cable, and then you get the LED strips themselves. So you open it up, this is what it looks like. It's gonna come way longer than you actually need it. So I'm gonna put it through what I want and then I'm just gonna cut it. They actually come with these little mounting points you can see right there. That's they're made to be cut at those mounting points. So let's see if we can get it to focus. It even has a little scissor logo. They're made to be cut, so don't feel like you have to use all of it, because if you just use too much and it's looping everywhere, it can get very annoying to deal with. So you find the end, they tuck it in, drop it, and you're ready to go. So I'm just gonna unravel it fully so I don't need to deal with the wheel. So as you can see, it's really long. You do not need that much length unless you're LED stripping like an entire wall. So I'm almost done. There we go. So it's out of the wheel. The ends are actually the same. They both terminate. Actually no, one is a male, one's a female, and the power cable into it is female, so you need to use the male end on the side that's going to connect to power. That was right. And all LED strips work, RGB LED strips work in a similar manner with these 4 pins. So you take that out. That's funny. The pins actually came out, so now I could use either side if I wanted to. So, to start, we need to figure out a solution for that.
Yeah. Why don't we cut one end, the end that we're not going to use already, and then just feed it all the way through.
Yep. All right. Live improvisation, improv. So that's the end we're not going to use. Just cut it on where it's set to cut. So now we can feed that through. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way down and then loop back and go under as well, just to give it kind of twice the strength. So it just feeds right through, and at the end I'm going to hammer all these staples in to get it a little tighter fit.
Do you want to figure out where we want to put the receiver first?
So we'll probably go right around over there.
Go right around over there? Okay. Does that have screw plates? Yeah, you can also screw it in, so we'll probably screw it into the desk too.
You do need some patience since it is a rubbery material. It takes a while to feed through, but... Alright, so it is now fed through, and we came into one complication of where to plug it in, and our solution was we're gonna put the little adapter thing right there, and it's stapled in, not going anywhere. And the receiver part just hangs up here and it goes over, so the front of the desk is on the other side. I can just reach down and reach this receiver with the remote. And it goes up and plugs in. You can see all this slack cable we had, even though we did 2 runs. So what we do with this is we find a cut location. You can see it right there. And you cut. Then you just have extra cable, which I guess theoretically you could reuse eventually if you just get the 4 wires, but that will most likely go in the trash. This is cool. So we found out that We now have two of these remotes because we have two, and we actually have a third unit over there. But so this works over there. You can see that it changes color over there. And then if I move it over here, you can see it also works on this one. So only one remote, you can control all the lights as long as you have a path to the receiver. And the last thing here to do is to take all the staples. So like you see the staple right here, it's there's a little slack, hammer it in a little bit, and it's secure. So we're gonna do that for all of them, and then we're good. It's working, it looks beautiful. It has 2 runs to be a little more powerful. Couldn't be happier. With them installed and everything, they look fantastic, and I really mean that. You can see that they're actually significantly brighter than the IKEA dioder LEDs I have behind my monitor, which is fairly impressive considering the IKEA LEDs are twice as expensive. They also make for an interesting background when filming B-roll. They just add a little bit of spice to what would normally be a pretty vanilla looking shot. So they're cheap, they look really good, and they're easy to install, but the single most underrated feature of these LEDs is the synchronization. So one remote can control multiple LED strips, and I keep my remote on my desk Velcroed. So my guess is that they all use the same exact frequency or however means they communicate with the receiver to communicate with the receiver, so no matter what receiver you're pointing it at, it can communicate and can control the LEDs of any LED strip as long as you're pointing it at the receiver. So if I wanted to control my LEDs, my receiver is down there, I just point at it and control it, change it to red, green, blue, any of them, leave it at blue. If I wanted to control Byron's LEDs, just point it over there, can change it to blue, red, green. If I wanted to control the LEDs of the B-roll table, again, just point it over there, blue, red, green, red, whatever. So you can control any LED strip with one remote, and that's something that's not advertised, but it's incredibly useful, and it's really awesome that you get that synchronized functionality for such an inexpensive product. So that's it for this video. I really wasn't even planning on making this video, but the quality of these cheap LED systems blew me away. For $65, I have a fully synchronized LED lit office that I can change the color with just one remote, and that's really impressive, especially for that price. Thank you for watching, subscribe to see more content, and as always, stay classy.